guys, welcome back to my channel and another video here. Today we're doing our seasonal polish picks, and this is like a quarterly video that I like to do each quarter, for each season. That I just like to go through and highlight some of my picks for what I feel like the kind of vibe for the season is going to be. And this is my favorite season to do, fall, because like fall and Halloween, those collections are really my weakness. Those are the colors and finishes and just vibes that I like to wear. I don't know if it's just because I prefer a lot of the tones that come out around this time of year, or my bias towards fall because it is my favorite season. But either way, this is like peak nail polish buying time for me because the collections that are coming out are the ones that I love to wear. And already the vibe that I feel like is really encompassing fall time for me this year is like grungy chic, or like maybe cozy grunge, or elevated grunge, even just grunge. I just want something nasty. I want something kind of gross looking. And but in a nice way. Gross in a good way. You get what I'm saying? No, nobody does, because I don't even really think that makes sense. But that's what I want from this season. And so that's what I tried to reflect in this quarter's like seasonal polish picks. And now if you're new here, if you've never seen one of these videos before, I will link up in the cards my playlist to all of my previous seasonal polish picks. But basically what I do is I pick 8 polishes and 1 topper that I feel kind of invoke how I'm feeling about the season this particular year. And like I said just a couple seconds ago, like this season I'm just feeling really grungy. I'm wearing a Buzz Lightyear hoodie, so I don't think that I look particularly grungy today, but that's kind of like what I'm looking for. It's cold, it's damp, it's a little dark all the time right now, and so I'm just feeling those grungy vibes, but I'm like, let's make it chic. And the idea behind this video is not to say like, you need to wear these polishes this season. This is more of like a lookbook / inspiration type thing. You can shop your own stash if you want, look for dupes to what I have, or wear exactly what I have if you have it. Or, you know, I do put shopping links down in my description box, so if you are compelled to purchase some of these, I will link you if they are still available so you can purchase them. But I am a firm believer that even if you want to be a part of a trend, you don't always have to spend money to do so. You can get a little creative with it, put your own spin on it. And so that's kind of what this video is here for. So with all that out of the way, let's get into my picks. I feel like I have more creams this time around than I ever really have before. But these colors I'm just really, really feeling this season. And also, do not take a shot every time I say the word leaves, because I feel like I'm going to say it a lot in this video. You will die. So first on the list will come as no surprise to anyone. I couldn't not put this in this video, and that is Orly's Elysian Fields. It's this really grungy browny green that just came out in the fall color pass. I'm literally wearing this on my toes right now with a glow-in-the-dark top coat over it because, you know, why not? I have worn this 3 separate times since I got it in the mail, and that is a lot for me to wear something back to back that close in like time frame. Usually I wear a polish once every 6 to 12 months, and then I won't wear it again and for another at least 6 to 12 months. I don't repeat polishes that frequently because I got a lot, you know? So the fact that I've worn this that many times already should really tell you how passionate I am about this particular nail polish. And this one, like I said, it's not for everyone. You know, I've said this in previous videos, not everybody's gonna love this, but I think you should try it. I think you should try it. It's such a weird color for a mainstream to come out with, and I think that's really another reason why I've just got my little claws like hooked and dug into this, because I just feel like mainstreams don't put out colors like this, and when they do, I am all over them. And you know what? I rarely say this because I'm not a big iridescent topper, whether it be shimmer or flakies type person, but I feel like this would probably look pretty interesting with either type of iridescent over it, just because it's a little bit darker in color, so I feel like it would really reflect those kind of iridescent colors through it, but it would also just give it kind of a weird, interesting, elevated look. Okay, number 2 is OPI's Ochre the Moon. And this is one that, okay, I ordered this from Ulta in September, and when it came, it was entirely destroyed, just all over every polish in my bag, just done for. but I couldn't get this darn polish out of my head. And so we went to a wedding and my nails had chipped the day before. And I was like, well, I can't wear chipped nails to this wedding. So I drove to an Ulta nearby. And this was the last one in the store. And it was discounted. It was like $2.70. And I had already made the swatch stick in preparation for this arriving to my home. So I was like, well, I already have the swatch stick and I've been wanting this one. So I picked this up. And I absolutely love this color. I do think the formula is a little bit on the thin side. And I don't know if that's just like poor formulation or because it's a yellow. And you know, yellows are often on the thin side, so I can't fault it for that. I think yellows are like notoriously difficult to formulate. Now, of course, one of the reasons why I was really drawn to this was I was like, oh, it looks kind of like China Glaze Mustard the Courage, which I was like really hooked on for like the past couple of years. And so I kind of looked at my photos of them side by side, and I do think that this is a little bit browner in tone than Mustard the Courage. It's a little bit like cooler. The greeny brown undertones of this definitely pull through more on my nails than Mustard the Courage does, which like Mustard the Courage looks a lot more, I don't want to say mustardy because like that's the obvious. It's a little bit more golden, a little bit more warm of a hue than this one. And so like this is just definitely that more chilly, grungy vibe that I'm going for this season. Number 3, okay, this is the last cream, I swear. Then we'll get into some fun finishes, but this is Loud Lacquer's Away Game, and this one is like the perfect rusty burnt orange where it's almost brown, but you can still see that orange leaning hue in it. It's kind of got that tone where if you live in a place where the leaves change, when they start to go from their like beautiful reds and yellows and all that into that kind of darker brown right before they officially die and fall off of the tree, that's kind of what this reminds me of. And it is really like the name is perfect, Away Game. It does remind me of being bundled up in the bleachers at like a high school football game or something, waiting to hang out with your friends, wearing your big like puffy scarf and your jacket and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, it's got that cozy kind of color to it, but the rusty element of the color is what sets it apart and puts it into that grungier category for me. I don't know why I would ever go to football games though, because like, I don't know how that game works. I don't want to learn. Nobody explained football to me. I don't care to learn. I just don't understand how football works. My friends were all in band though, so I would go and hang out with them because they played on the sidelines and stuff like that. I was like band kid adjacent in high school. Okay, number 4 is actually Hollow Taco's Burnt Bridges. Now, I was disappointed by this polish in the full scope of the Rainbow collection, but on its own, as like what I'm going to say is a just totally brown hollow. I know that it's supposed to be orange, but my eyes perceive this as brown. I feel like this just hits that super grungy color because it's a deeper brown. It's not that like chocolatey, like delicious looking brown. It's more like tree bark or like wood, you know, it's like sparkly wood because that hollow in there, it really does kick it up a notch. It elevates it. I'm going to say elevate a lot in this video. I can feel that too. I don't know. That's my new word right now, but it elevates the polish into that really fun, grungy status. Couldn't we say fungy? No, fungy sounds gross. Fun, grungy. Let's just keep it 2 words. But yeah, it kind of elevates it into that really fun, but grungy kind of even chic area. So I picked this one, and I don't know, like, do you guys look at this and think it's orange? Because like, I swear, no, it's brown. It's brown. I can't lie and say it's orange. I don't think it is. Everyone in the comments on my dark rainbow video though, they were like, Hillary, orange and brown are the same color. And I'm like, okay, but no, they're not. All right. Not in my brain. I don't want them to be. So it's brown and I'm going to go with that. But yeah, I really like this. I think this is going to be a good fall color. I mean, the whole dark rainbow is definitely going to be a good fall set, but if I had to pick one to really kind of encompass fall for me, it would be Burnt Bridges. Number 5 is Zoya Adena, and this one I actually wore on my toes right before I was wearing Elysian Fields. This one is that kind of typical purple that I see in a lot of harvest time or Thanksgiving decorations. Why is that? Why is purple associated with Thanksgiving? Is it? Am I crazy? I feel like I'm making that up, but at the same time, I feel like it's real. Like, I feel like there's a deeper kind of royal purple that's often on a lot of like turkey and Thanksgiving decorations. But then this has this green shimmer, this like perfect alien green shimmer running through it that just gives it that kind of gross, grungy look that I'm looking for. Like I said, I was wearing this on my toes last week, I think it was. And when you look at it from certain angles, it's just this kind of plain metallic-y purple. It's fine, it's interesting on its own. But then when you hit it from the right light angle, it's like boom, alien toes. That's like, it's perfect. It's kind of similar to one that came out in the China Glaze Halloween collection last year, but I think that this one is a little bit more opaque than that one. But they're, you know, they're similar vibes. So if you have one, you might not need the other one, but if you've got this one, definitely bust it out for fall. Okay, this is the only one that I'm not sure if you can still get, but I'll link it down below if I can find it. This is Great Lakes Lacquer, and it's Who, and it's based on Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is from her ACNH 2.0 collection, I think. I picked this up at Polish and Beauty Expo, but I know that they were selling it on their website as well. And in the bottle, it's hard to tell what this really looks like. I mean, it looks really dark in the bottle, and the reflect coming off of it is super rainbowy in real life. Just really looks like an oil slick. But once you get it on the nails, you can really see this polish for what it is. And what it is the perfect fall, like reddish brown, but then it has this just absolute shock of green shimmer running through it. Now, I know not all of my viewers experience seasons the same way that I do, because like we've got people from all over the country, and then I have people watching from other countries as well. But in Michigan, the summer to fall kind of transition is my favorite time of year because the leaves are changing and falling, and that is really pretty. The weather is a little bit chilly, so I get to wear my hoodies all the time, which is like, I like long sleeves more. I like pants. I do not wear shorts. I'm not a shorts person. Even in dead of summer, it's like 100 degrees. I'm wearing jeans. Don't come at me with shorts. But it's like, I like to be a little bit more like bundled up. And it's also kind of getting darker faster. And it's like this more advanced darkness than in the summer, you know? But there's always just these little patches of summer left, like these really bright green trees that are refusing to change, these little patches of bright green grass, you know, and so to me, that's kind of what this polish looks like. It's like that really grungy, dark, deep kind of encompassment of fall coming and like squeezing in, but then that green shock of shimmer is just like, boom, there's still a little bit of summer left, still a little bit of warmth, still a little bit of brightness. And this whole collection had some really cute polishes. I think I picked up like 2 or 3 from the whole collection. I wanted to pick up all of them, but I was already buying so much that I was like, okay, pick your favorites. And normally I wouldn't just like actively reach for this tone of color. It's not one that looks like very good on my skin tone, I feel, but it just, I don't know, like when I fanned out my swatch sticks, I was looking for some inspiration to like add to my list. And then I just saw it and I was like, that one is fall. Like, I don't know what it is. I think this type of color I really associate with this time of year, but also especially when it's magnetized, like the magnetic stripe is, you know, that really light version of this color. And then the surrounding area is super dark. And that is the part that I'm like, that is like the ideal fall color. But again, I feel like a lot of decor around this season, like the whole like dark to light range of this color, I think is really incorporated in it. So I feel like you could do a lot of fun stuff with this. It's got like kind of a jewel toned aspect, which I like. I mean, jewel tones for fall, groundbreaking, whatever, but I love a jewel tone for fall. I'm basic, so. And like I said, I'm really into magnetics right now, so this was just a like no-brainer for me. And my last pick of like regular polishes before we get into the topper is ILNP's Tombstone. Now, I always feel like gray polishes are super chic and like mostly in a grungy way, kind of like, I don't know why when I think of gray, I think of cement and like metal and things like that. And to me, those are very like Urban Decay-esque kind of grunginess. Now, I feel like this one is pushing it a little bit in that category because it is such a light gray, such a soft gray, like a more delicate gray, that calling it grunge is kind of like a little exaggeratory, but this is just another example of what I'm feeling this season. And I feel like this one is super chic. I think I put this in my my work appropriate polishes. It's just got these really pretty little rose gold flakes running through it and some hollow glitter as well, but it's super subtle. It feels like a super cozy color, and I almost want to say this would be more winter, but for some reason, because of the addition of the rose gold flakes, it really pulls it back into fall for me. Rose gold, or fancy copper as I like to call it, that sort of tone of color, it really is fall for me. I don't know, like, I've never been a big rose gold person. I think it's pretty, like, from a objective point of view, I'm like, oh yeah, rose gold, that's pretty. Your rose gold jewelry is pretty, whatever. But I've never felt compelled to get anything rose gold, except for like in the scope of fall. Like that's the only time where I'm like, oh yeah, that would be really pretty. Every other season, I'm like, I don't need it. It's pretty, but I don't need it. But in the fall, I'm like I have a rose gold basket for my tea over on my tea stand. I don't know why I felt compelled. I think it's because I bought it in the fall. It's just, it's this illness that comes over me in the fall where everything rose gold is suddenly attractive to me. But yeah, I think this is super cute. And honestly, like, I feel like this is more cohesive than any other set of seasonal polish picks I've ever done, and that wasn't even intentional. I don't know. I feel like I did a pretty good job this season. And the topper is another newer polish, and this is Sweet and Sour Lacquer's Quetzalcoatl. And this one, it's got those UCC flakes that I like. You know, I'm not a big iridescent flaky person. I've said that a million times. I like a flaky that has some color to it. And so UCC flakes, or like solid color flakes, are my favorite. And if you don't know what UCC flakes are, it's ultra chrome chameleon flakes. And I constantly forget what it stands for. And then I'm always having to Google it. And I'm like, just remember it, Hillary. But they're those, you know, super metallic and reflective flakies. I don't know if it's just because I grew up like most of my youth in the early 2000s when like chrome and metallic everything was the height of cool. But that's like, to me, this is just the height of cool. And also, whenever I see like these kind of grungier colored flakies, especially around the fall time, I'm like, that looks like leaves. That looks like leaves. I just, every time I see a flaky, I'm like, leaves, that's leaves, especially in the fall, and this one is no exception. I have a picture of it over 4 different colored nails, and you can see just the way these reflect. To me, that looks pretty fall. I don't know about you guys, but to me, it's like the whole like spectrum of changing leaves on one nail. And again, we're back to that like green with the purple. That's just a color combo that I love. It's a good like indicator for me of like changing seasons between summer and fall. And I don't know, I just feel like the metallic aspect really kicks it up a notch, so that's what I really like about this. So yeah, those are my seasonal polish picks for fall. I've already worn, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of them before I even made this video, and I will probably get through the rest sometime in the end of October and November. Let me know if you guys feel the same way about seasons. Like, I feel like every year I pick a new like vibe for each season, and then I kind of commit to that. Maybe that's just a weird thing that I do, but I don't know. I like theming my life around certain things, and this is just another one of those things. Let me know what you guys thought of my seasonal picks and what you think you're going to be wearing this season. I know not everybody is a seasonal polish wearer. I'm not either, but I also am. Like, I won't let a season restrict me, but I do love wearing like seasonal polishes in that season because it just, I don't know, it makes it like a little bit more fun. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's going to be it from me in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.